some relatives have told me stories about how like my parents would just like stand over my crib and cry because they'd be like, dang, like she's gonna have a tough road. Like they thought my dad was gonna go first and like, whatever. And so they always called me their angel, which, well, at least she did. I never quite understood it. Simmer in this dull lake and lie awake until a new day comes and takes me further from your goal.
Hi, Jess. It's so great to have you here today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course. So, just to start off, I'd love to hear just a little bit more about you. If you could give us just an introduction into who you are.
Yeah, I'm a manager at a Trader Joe's. That's what I do for, 50 hours a week to pay the bills. Outside of that, I write songs. I have a dog who is my whole life. Just kind of trying to figure out what's next after this first EP. It took so long, and now I'm trying to figure out where to go from here. My mom was she got sick when I was 5. She got diagnosed with breast cancer. And went through chemo, lost her hair, was really sick for a long time, and then went into remission. And then we moved, and my dad retired from his piano rebuilding business, and the cancer came back, and my dad being retired was pretty bad. He was already very emotionally distant with most people in his life, but that just kind of pushed him away for good, I feel like. Yeah, so my mom got sick again, and this time it spread over a couple years. I was 12 when she died, and I was very much kept out of the loop by my dad and my family, which was always something that I was I know what's going on. I know something's wrong. I shouldn't have to listen on the other end of the phone with a towel over it to know that my mother is dying. And so she passed away right when I started 7th grade. I went to school the next day. I didn't talk about it. I shoved it down because in my mind I felt it was up to me to keep a brave face on, while the rest of my family was kind of a mess. I worked at Pavement Coffee House for a long time when I was at Berkeley, and we would just kind of sit and philosophize after work. And one of the things we would always argue about is what is art, and how what is it in comparison to what we're doing on this earth and what we've been doing on this earth. And I always came down to art is human. The human, whoever made the first thing, didn't, they just put their soul into something and realized it, and that was art, and I think that's when it started. This one's Dolphin Road. It's a song about home. I
swept up by the sands of time. Down on the docks of Dolphin Road, I'll stand and watch the tide. We sang along to the songs of the seagulls. At night I laid my head on your beating heart. I knew I'd have to keep them forever in my own, because the only home I've ever known was swept up by the sands of time. Down on the docks of Dolphin Road, I'll stand and watch the tide, and I'll build a house of sticks and stones and float it out to sea. And I'll pray that one day I'll return to those shores of golden memories. Until then I'll travel on, because the only home I've ever known was swept up by the sands of time. Oh, down on the docks of Dolphin Road, I'll stand alone, because the only home I've ever known was swept up by the sands of time. Down on the docks of Dolphin Road, I'll stand and watch the tide.
That was great. Thank you. Nobody for your audition that time.
Yes.
I'm not a religious person, but my mother was incredibly Catholic. And she was in our church's adult choir, and I was the only kid, and I would like sing with her and all the adults every Sunday, and I loved it just because I got to like sing with my mom and like watch my mom like touch other people. Like she was truly just an angel. And even more so now, like part of this process of writing this EP, I decided it was finally time for me to come back to her. I had pushed her away for so long. Like I couldn't say her name. I couldn't say the word mom for a long time, just because I was really scared of making other people uncomfortable with my pain. But I decided Jeannie is like here, and she always has been. And well, I didn't decide that. I finally realized it after so many years that she's been right by me this whole time, you know. And that's why I took her name as my stage name, because her name was forgotten for too long.